Hello everyone! So today I am doing kind of a combo video. I'm talking about The Giver book and movie. So yeah, I read The Giver book a bunch of times. I read it when I was in 5th grade and again when I was in 6th grade and then again just because I wanted to, I think when I was in middle school, but I haven't read it in a long time. And so I thought, you know what, I need to reread it. So I went out and bought this pretty cover because I lost my original cover. I don't know where it went. So yeah, I bought this pretty cover and then I watched the movie when I was about halfway done with this and I finished it, and now I'm going to talk to you guys about it. So let's start with the book. Honestly, I love this book. I think it's great, and especially because this edition at least is about 220 pages long, and it is an amazing story for only 220 pages. If you think about all these dystopian books, and they're all these really long books, except for like The Hunger Games is short, but there's 3 of those. Those are one of these, and I know there's a quartet, but they're companion novels, they're not sequels, so they aren't a continuation of this story. So yeah, Lois Lowry did an awesome job of putting such a cool story into 220 pages. Other than that, I just really like this book because honestly I feel like The Giver is the foundation for all other dystopian books. Divergent, The Hunger Games, all these dystopian books all get their tropes or their cliches from this book. I didn't even notice. I made this comment way before I even picked up this book again to reread it before I saw the movie, but I was reading it and Jonas, the main character, makes a comment about how there really aren't mirrors in his society, and there are very few of them, and he never really looks in the mirror. Divergent, that's Divergent, the abnegation. What? Now I don't know if that was a coincidence or if that was something that Veronica Roth really was like, oh, that's in The Giver, let's put it in this. But that just goes to show that this book kind of just started everything, and it's an awesome start, to be honest. Also, when this book won the Newbery Medal for children's literature, Lois Lowry gave a speech on it, and she gives a little bit of insight into the book and the things that sparked her interest in writing the book and kind of made the storyline, things that actually happened in her life that kind of developed the story for her. And it's really interesting and kind of creepy. And I will link that speech down below because you all should definitely read it because it was really, really cool to read, to get some insight into what she was thinking when she read this. And also, if you have read the book and even have seen the movie, you know that it's very open to interpretation, but especially the book. There's a lot of ambiguous things in here, and she talks about how that was the point. She wanted it to be ambiguous, and she wants people to think and use their own brains instead of her telling you what to think, which I really like. But getting on to the movie. I got this poster from Barnes & Noble, and it has Brendan Thwaites on it, which just makes it perfect because Brendan Thwaites is hot. But yeah, don't you like it? I saw the movie when I was about 100 pages into the book, I think, and from what I had read so far, I was really enjoying the movie because it was pretty much alike. And then I finished the book, and I felt the same way, but I felt like the director, the producer, the screenwriter, whatever, took their own direction with it, and I loved it because the book, this book right here, is very, very ambiguous. There are so many things that are open to interpretation in this book, especially the end. And when you're making a movie, it can't be that open to interpretation. There has to be some definite storyline, whereas in a book you can just make people think and fill in the blanks by themselves. But in a movie you kind of have to take your interpretation and just run with it, and I think that that's what they did, and it was really awesome. One of the best things about this movie was the memories, because it wasn't just the memories that were in the book, which were the sled, and the memories in the book felt kind of I don't know, dreamlike. But then the memories in the movie were, I don't know, just, I don't even know how to describe it, but the memories in the movie just overwhelmed me with emotion. And it's weird because, I don't know why, but like when he was giving Jonas memories of courage and strength so that he could leave the community, and it was these people all over the world that were just fighting for what they believed in. It was just a very surreal moment, and it just made you think. And I loved that. And that happened with all the memories throughout the book. It made you appreciate what you have. And we can see color. We experience emotion. We experience love. We know what snow is. Climate control doesn't exist. We've had sunny days and rainy days, even though a lot of us hate rainy days. We're like, I can't go to the beach because it's raining out. But we don't even appreciate rain because it's just always been there. But think about if it was taken away. Think about if the sun was taken away. Think about if you couldn't see color. Like, what would that be like? And I feel like the book kind of just is like, wow, that's a really cool concept. But then the movie made you think, and it was so breathtakingly, I don't know, it was beautiful, guys. I loved this movie. Like I said, Brendan Thwaites, freaking hot. Hot, loved him. Another thing that I liked about this movie, and it was kind of weird, and I noticed it like halfway through the movie, it starts in black and white and then it moves to color, but the change is so subtle that you don't even notice it. Like, you are experiencing it with Jonas. So as Jonas learns color, the movie turns more and more into color, but it's so subtle that it goes from black and white to complete color, and you don't even notice the change. I was watching it, and it was complete color for at least 30 minutes, and I was like, what? It's color, and I didn't even notice. It's just, it was cool. I really thought that was really awesome, and just loved it. But, yeah, overall, really awesome interpretation. I loved the whole movie. It made me emotional because it just was beautiful, and I know that it was the foundation for all dystopian literature and for all of those things that we know today as like, oh, that has to be in every dystopia. But also, it's just so different because all these dystopian books are like, the rebel fights back and the bad guy and blah. But no, this one's more like subtle, and they're not really planning anything against the society, whereas in most dystopians, there's something bad going on, like they're really doing something bad. And I understand, like in this, they're killing babies and they're killing people in this, but they don't think it's wrong, and they're not planning to do anything like really bad. But Jonas is like, you know what, I'm gonna fight for what I believe in, and I really liked it, and I just love this book, and I want to read the rest of the quartet because I've never read it, and I want to see the movie again because the movie was just so good. And the movie was a lot more climactic than the book and suspenseful. Like in the book, there's nobody chasing after Jonas. Jonas just runs away, and the planes come to try to find him, but nobody, like in the movie, there's this huge chase scene where he like rides off a cliff. That doesn't happen. And Asher doesn't like let him go because Asher isn't sent to find him, but I liked those additions because I felt like it made the movie more suspenseful, and I felt like the upped ages in the movie was a good thing because it made the movie more believable, and I felt like they took the story and kind of twisted it to make it into a movie that people would want to see, because The Giver obviously is a best-selling book. It won the Newbery Medal. It's an amazing book, but it's not a book that's on the best-selling charts right now. Like, it's not #1 on the New York Times list right now. It's not Hunger Games or Divergent where the book is blowing up and they're like, we gotta make a movie. No, this was like, the book blew up a long time ago and now we're trying to make the movie. So a lot of people either read it a long time ago, so might not be interested anymore, or have no idea what it is. So they had to kind of get an audience, and I think that they did that well. They made the movie into a movie that lots of people would want to see, but still stuck to the book and stuck to the basic themes of the book, and I just really liked that. I really loved the movie, and I love Brendan Thwaites, and I just loved it. and I loved the book, and it's just awesome. If you haven't read this book, you definitely need to read this book because it's a classic. It is a modern classic. It always will be. And yeah, also check out the Newbery Medal Award speech that Lois Lowry did because it's really cool, actually. I really enjoyed that speech. It gave you a lot of insight and kind of creepy. It kind of like weirded me out, some of the insight, because the stuff she saw in our world today that helped her write this book, it's pretty crazy. So yeah, that's all I really have to say, and this is probably a pretty short video, but I didn't really plan anything, so I just was kind of talking and letting the camera roll, and I would rant to you all. So yeah, that's what I did. I'll probably have a more detailed review on my blog, which you can check out below, and I'll talk about things that I didn't talk about here. I won't just rant. I'll actually sound sophisticated. But here, I'm going to just rant and tell you what I'm thinking. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the Giver book, the Giver movie. Have you read the rest of the quartet? Do you like it? Should I put it high on my TBR list? Give me your thoughts. Comment below. And I will see you guys soon with a new video. Bye!